Hello, so my name's Suryacitta and we're going to do a short interview about mindfulness with Richard Hampson. So over to you, Richard.
Thank you, Surya. Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions that I think myself as a psychologist, but also the public would like to know about mindfulness in general, but also you as a practitioner. So I guess first and foremost, tell me a bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm an ordained Buddhist, but the courses I lead are normally secular in nature. I teach mindfulness to the general public, to companies, corporate, charities, in healthcare. And the company I run is called Mindfulness CIC, and a CIC is a community interest company. We're a non-profit organisation. Well, basically, I go around teaching mindfulness to whoever wants to learn it. Okay?
Fantastic. So, clearly mindfulness is at the centre of everything that you do. What brought you to the field of mindfulness in the first place?
It was in 1990. I was having a bit of a hard time myself, like a lot of us do from time to time. And I knew it wasn't therapy that I wanted. It was more of a, I described it then as a spiritual dimension. And I came across meditation, mindfulness meditation. And after less than 2 weeks, I knew that this was for me. It was making quite a difference to my mental and emotional state. It was a sort of, I described it at the time as a sort of a key. It opened the key to something. I wasn't sure what at the time, but it was just a key to something. And I thought I'd found the key to unlocking some potential.
Yeah. Fantastic. What was it about this particular technique then, mindfulness, that allowed you to feel like you were going to unlock that key? So what stood out about mindfulness to you?
Yeah. It was working directly with the mind, because my mind was scrambled. I had a busy mind, just like 99% of the population, and it's getting worse in society. And mindfulness allowed me to work with my own mind and my own emotions and become more comfortable with myself, because I wasn't very comfortable with myself. So it allowed me to get to know my own heart, my own emotions, and the way my mind worked, because I didn't have a clue that I was causing my own distress and suffering. I thought the world was creating it, but I was creating it, and I started to see that quite clearly. So that's, in a nutshell, that's the main thing that I got from mindfulness. It was working directly with my own mind.
Fantastic. And so therefore, I think I know the answer to this question, but who can it help?
Yeah. Basically, just about everybody. I would say if someone's going through a really bad time, severely depressed or chronically depressed, it may not be the best time to start. Because what happens when you practice mindfulness, it's like holding up a mirror. You know, we all have a mirror in our bathroom. And when you go there in the morning, the mirror shows you what's happening on the outside. So you can. Mindfulness is a mirror. It shows you what's happening on the inside. So to begin with, if you're severely depressed or going through a really bad time, I wouldn't suggest you do it. I'd wait a while. But it's when you look in that mirror of mindfulness, you start to see what's going on. So it's helpful to most of the general public. It's now being used in healthcare, in business, in psychological circles. That there are no limits to it, really, because we all have a mind.
Brilliant. And so if I was to go on a mindfulness course, what would it teach me specifically? So what would I learn, and what process would I go through? How would I go about my learning with you?
Yeah. I prefer the term practice rather than learning. It's like, you know, if you want to know the taste of an orange, you don't learn about it, you just taste it. You get one, and you taste it. And that's what I like to do with the mindfulness course. I like people to do it. Obviously we talk about it. We discuss elements and different themes, different ways in. But what we do mindfulness, we practice it. And what you learn, if the one specific thing would be a way of working with your own mind, getting to know your own thoughts and being able to let go of the more distressing thoughts, because that's where most of the distress comes from, the belief in thoughts. And also being able to be more comfortable with emotions, because not a lot of us are comfortable with ourselves. So in essence, those are the two things you learn on a mindfulness course.
Brilliant. And then last two questions. First of all, practicing with yourself, what would be unique or what would be specific about the practice I would do with you as an individual as opposed to doing it with others?
Okay. Well, one thing that I like to do, I like to emphasise practice, as I've just said. It's about practice. You can talk till the cows come home about the taste of the orange, but until you taste it, you don't know what it's like. Yeah. So there's that. What I also bring, which is not completely unique, but is my background in Buddhism. Mindfulness comes from Buddhism. And though I teach in a secular way, I bring that experience to bear to my teaching. So I teach Buddhism without the religion, or without the, without anybody converting anybody to Buddhism. Yeah. So that's how I think what's fairly unique to my approach. Plus, I like to deal with what's in the room. So people bring stuff to the room. Rather than sticking to my structure, we will leave the structure behind and deal with what people bring. Yeah. So it might be difficulties, it might be insights, realizations, whatever people bring, I like to deal with there and then.
Fantastic. And then mindfulness is getting used, as you said before, in a number of different environments at the moment. And I guess with the work that I do can cover three different areas, day-to-day life, the workplace, and ultimately performance sports. How does this technique stay relevant across all three of these different domains?
Good question. My first response to that is we all have a mind. Yeah. We can't go anywhere without our mind, particularly with us. So wherever you go, there you are. Yeah. Yeah. So whether you're living your daily life at home, dressing the kids, going to the toilet, drinking tea, yeah, you take your mind with you. And that's at work, you take your mind to work and performance sports. So it helps all three areas. There's really very little difference in the approach because you're working directly with the mind, no matter where you are. And what it does help with is whatever area of your life you're in at that moment, it helps you be present. Yeah. So in performance sports, as you will know more than I do, it's about being present, not getting caught up with your troubles. And it's the same relating with your kids. If you're caught up with your troubles, you're not present for them. And it's the same with work, emailing or talking to the boss or the employees. If you're not present, if you're full of troubles, you're less effective, no matter what you do. So what mindfulness is too, and this is one of the emphases, is I like to show people that there is a difference between real emotion, which is a response to real life, and are necessary and healthy, and false emotion, which is a response to our own thinking, which is a lot of the distress that we all experience. And over time, that decreases. So in essence, I would say it's about being present in all three areas.
Fantastic. That's the end of my questions, Surya. I guess what I'll do is just maybe hand you an opportunity just to summarise everything that we've talked about in great detail there, just one last time.
Yeah. Well, generally, mindfulness, you will come along to a mindfulness course with me or anybody else, and you will learn the practice of mindfulness. And whatever your lifestyle, mindfulness will help, irrespective of whether you're a high-flying boss, you work on the buses, it doesn't matter. Mindfulness will help you. And one of the emphases on any mindfulness course, and it's just mine, but any mindfulness course is practice at home. You will be asked to practice at home, to sit down, be quiet, watch your mind, and to take that into everyday life. That's what any teacher would be asking. So, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.